Friday, March 14th. Welcome to your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and we have a lot of local headlines to catch you up on today, including a rare rhinoceros horn stolen from a college and now found in Ridgefield, as well as a large drug bust in Milford and much more. Frank Granito has your forecast and later on a Nutmeg Sports Update, and Donald Eng will join us, as always, to take a look back on this day in history. But first, an East Haven man was arrested this week on charges of operating a drug factory out of a business on Quarry Road in Milford. On March 13th at about 1 in the afternoon, the Bridgeport office of the Drug Enforcement Agency, with the assistance of Milford and Stamford narcotics units, conducted a narcotics investigation targeting 45-year-old Pasquale Sestaro. Now, agents and detectives executed a search warrant at the Bulldog Cartel Wholesalers located on Quarry Road in Milford. Now, with the assistance of the Milford Police Department's trained narcotics detection canine Cedar, agents and detectives located 1.24 ounces of cocaine, 38 pounds of marijuana, 261 vials of liquid THC, a scale as well as packaging materials, 2 firearms, and cash from various locations inside of that business. For more on that story, you can check milfordmirror.com. And in other news, a Stratford man accused of stabbing his roommate is now facing attempted murder and assault charges. Stratford police said 42-year-old David Newman of 91 Gina Circle was arrested at 9:30 in the morning on Tuesday. Now, police said that incident took place at Newman's residence. Police say Newman assaulted his roommate with a knife and stabbed him several times in the arm and the shoulder. Police said it was not known what prompted that attack. Well, police said the roommate was able to fend off the attack, and Newman returned to his bedroom to wait for officers to arrive. Police say Newman surrendered to officers without incident. He was charged with attempted murder and first-degree assault and was ordered held on a $1 million bond. He was scheduled to appear in court this morning. And in other news, 2 Monroe men faced a host of charges in connection with the sexual assault of a minor in November. Now, according to Monroe police, 20-year-old Brian Whirl of Turkey Roost Road and 19-year-old Wyatt Palin of Grist Mill Road were each arrested this week on a warrant for first-degree sexual assault, conspiracy to commit first-degree sexual assault, as well as unlawful restraint, among other charges. Now, police said Whirl and Palin sexually assaulted a juvenile victim at Whirl's home back on November 25th. Now, according to police, that juvenile victim, with the support of family and friends, came forward 2 days after that alleged incident to report the details to Monroe police. Police said the department opened an investigation into the allegations, which resulted in these arrests. Now, investigators say that cases like this are exceptionally hard on victims, according to police, due to the sensitive nature of these crimes. Now, both Whirl and Palin were released after each posted a $50,000 bond. And a prized black rhinoceros horn that was stolen in April 2017 from the University of Vermont's Zadock-Thompson Zoological Collection has been recovered in Ridgefield and now returned to the university. UVM reports that that horn, valued at $200,000 and dating from the early 1900s, is significant from a scientific standpoint because it contains genetic material that would provide insight into black rhinoceroses about 100 years ago, when the genetic diversity of the species was much more robust than it is today. There are currently only 5,000 black rhinoceri in existence. Well, UVM police began investigating that crime immediately after that horn was stolen, issuing a press release and a reward offered jointly by UVM and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Well, that press release resulted in a tip to UVM police that the horn was in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Now, given that the tip and investigation didn't reveal enough information for police to secure a search warrant on the property of the suspect and bring criminal charges if the horn was found, investigators and prosecutors in Connecticut and Vermont determined that the best strategy was to offer that suspect immunity if that horn was returned. Well, UVM reports that on March 6th, Ridgefield police, working from information given to them by UVM police, were able to successfully cover that rhinoceros horn. Now, that case remains open pending further information. No information about the suspect has been released, and our own Ridgefield Press is seeking more information from the Ridgefield police. And Norwalk detectives need your help finding a thief. A man caught in surveillance photos is a suspect in the retail theft of purses at TJ Maxx in Norwalk. Now, that suspect left the scene in an orange Jeep Renegade. If you can identify the person or have any information about that theft, you can contact Norwalk detectives at 203-854-3183. And in other news, Norwalk resident 37-year-old Patrick Bedoin has been arrested for allegedly using his cell phone to take photographs and videos of women under their skirts without their knowledge or consent. Now, Bedoin surrendered himself to New Canaan police on March 12th on an active warrant for his arrest. Police say they were contacted by a victim of the voyeurism in December 2017. Now, through their investigation, police discovered 12 incidents of voyeurism that took place in New Canaan, Norwalk, and in Stamford. Police say their work included forensic exams and search warrants of cell phones and computers owned by Bedoin. Now, locations police said are not being released in order to protect the identity of those victims. And Ridgefield Superintendent Karen Baldwin's time as Ridgefield Superintendent of Schools is coming to an abrupt end. Baldwin, who has been mired in controversy for the last 2 weeks after it was discovered that several letters she wrote were copied without proper attribution, was placed on administrative leave on Friday, March 9th. Now, it didn't take much time for the Ridgefield Board of Education to decide it wanted to sever all ties with Baldwin, who took over the post in July 2015. Now, the board unanimously voted Monday night to enter into a resignation agreement with the superintendent of schools. Dr. Robert Miller, the district's director of technology, was named the district's acting superintendent Monday night. He will serve in that post through June 30th, 2018. Now, the next order of business for the school board is to launch a personnel search committee that will eventually hire a new full-time superintendent. Board Chairwoman Fran Walton issued a statement from the board and Baldwin early this morning that took some exception to reports that the district was seeking Baldwin's termination. She said in part this morning, some reporting regarding Monday night's decision-making by the Board of Education regarding Dr. Karen Baldwin has not been accurate, she said. The parties have agreed to explore whether a resignation agreement would be the best alternative for both the district and the superintendent in light of all the circumstances. The statement went on to say the board has not requested Dr. Baldwin's resignation, nor has it made any findings with respect to Dr. Baldwin's actions or conduct. There is much more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. But let's throw it over to Frank Granito now for a look at your forecast. Frank.
All right, thank you, Kate. As we look outside today, plenty of sunshine going on right now. A little bit cooler out with temperatures right around 39 degrees. Going to be breezy today. Wind gusts anywhere between 20 to 30 miles per hour. We could see a light flurry later on this afternoon and some increasing cloud cover overnight with temperatures falling down into the low 20s. A mix of sun and clouds on the way for tomorrow. Temperatures in the low 40s. It'll sit right around 33 overnight with the same following, and then again clouds and sunshine mixed throughout Friday. Temperatures right around 40 degrees. Should be a little bit warmer over the weekend as we start to see this snow melt a little bit heading into the start of next week. That'll do it for this weather update. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And we're going to step out for a break. Come back, Donald Lang. We'll take a look back on this day in history. We have more local news, and Frank will have your Nutmeg Sports update after this. Set sail on a summertime adventure with Sail Away Sailing School. Located in Captain's Cove Seaport in Bridgeport, we're sailing June 18th through August 10th. 2 sessions offered daily, Monday through Friday for ages 9 to 15. Have fun, make friends, learn to sail. Visit teamsailaway.com.
At Pamby Motors, we're not worried about being the biggest dealership. We're focused on being the best. We're dedicated to giving you the best experience we can. The Pamby Motors team is here to help you choose the right Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram in a friendly, pressure-free environment. And right now, during Ram Truck Month, get up to $14,000 off on all in-stock 2017 Ram 1500 pickups. Come in and see us for details. Visit Pamby Motors, Route 7 in Ridgefield, PambyZone.com.
At Budget Blinds, we're in business to frame the light, the day, and the night. So we give you an exclusive combination of high style, expert service, our no surprises pricing, and our no questions asked warranty. We believe that everyone, at every budget, deserves style and service. Isn't that a beautiful place to be?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
Welcome back to this March 14th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, and it's time to throw it over to Donald Lang to take a look back on this day in history. Don.
Well, Kate, you've heard the term rainmaker. One of them was fired for being too good at his job, ironically. First up, we go to 1794. Eli Whitney, a Connecticut resident, is granted a patent for the cotton gin. That is a device that automatically separates cotton fiber from cotton seeds. Now, it greatly increased production of cotton in the country, but it also greatly drove up the demand for slaves to harvest the cotton. The gin has been named an unintended contributor to the U.S. Civil War. In 1950, New York, suffering from a drought, hires Dr. Wallace Howell of the Mount Washington Observatory as its official rainmaker. He had a thing about seeding clouds. Now, he was paid $100 a day to use this cloud seeding technology to fill the city's reservoirs. And after 18 months, his contract was not renewed, but not due to lack of results. No, in fact, the opposite. Now, you may scoff, but the fact is, a group of amusement park owners in the tri-state area sued Howell because the summer of 1950, it rained 32 consecutive weekends. 1964, a Dallas jury finds Jack Ruby guilty of killing Lee Harvey Oswald. That's them there affirming their vote. Oswald, the assumed assassin of John F. Kennedy, Ruby would be sentenced to death, though he would die of lung cancer while awaiting his appeal. The Warren Commission would later determine that both he and Oswald had acted alone, but speculation has persisted that Ruby was part of a conspiracy to assassinate Kennedy. Finally, now we go back to 1950 for this.
Following a media inquiry in 1949, in the response to that inquiry, J. Edgar Hoover, who was the FBI director in 1950, developed this list of the FBI's toughest, those people out there that we wanted to get the most. And that was the genesis of the 10 Most Wanted list. And instead of wanted flyers hanging in community post offices, we now have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter account, we have a telephone app that people can download onto their smartphone and look for the FBI's 10 Most Wanted.
It was on this date in 1950 that FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover unveils the 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list in an effort to publicize particularly dangerous criminals. Since then, 520 men, 10 women have been listed. Generally, the only way to get off the list is to be captured or to have a judge declare that you're probably dead. 9 people have been removed after the FBI deemed them no longer particularly dangerous. The shortest stay on the list, one person was captured after 2 hours. Longest stay, 32 years and counting. That is your look back in history for today, March 14th, and I'm Donald Lang.
All right, thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a Danbury drug dealer was sentenced this week to 30 months in prison, followed by 6 months of house arrest for his connection to a fatal overdose. 32-year-old Jose Gregory Sharon, also known as Yoshi of Danbury, was sentenced by U.S. District Judge Michael P. Shea in Hartford. Now, the U.S. Attorney for Connecticut says this prosecution is part of an ongoing statewide initiative targeting narcotics dealers who distribute heroin, fentanyl, or opioids that cause death or serious injury to users. Now, according to court documents and statements made in court, on April 9, 2017, the Danbury Police Department responded to a home on a report of an untimely death of a woman. Well, investigators collected from the scene 3 cell phones, a bottle of methadone, and an empty glassine bag marked with a particular brand stamp. Well, testing of the contents of the bag confirmed it contained heroin. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner later determined that the victim died as a result of methadone and benzodiazepine overdose. Well, in May 2017, investigators made 2 controlled purchases of heroin from Sharon. Several of the bags of heroin purchased on both occasions were marked with the same brand stamp that was on the empty bag found in that overdose victim's home. Now, Sharon has been detained since his arrest on a federal criminal complaint on September 12th. On December 21st, he pleaded guilty to 1 count of distribution of heroin. And in Milford, 46-year-old Stephen Chiappetta of Burnt Plains Road was arrested on a warrant March 12th for allegedly threatening to kill a man and his family. Now, police said Chiappetta is charged with threatening and was released from police custody on a promise to appear in court on April 10th. Chiappetta is accused of leaving a voicemail on another man's phone threatening to kill him and his family. And in other news, students all over Connecticut are taking part in today's National Student Walkout as a statement to end gun violence. Now, most of the walkouts lasted 17 minutes this morning in honor of the 17 victims killed at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Now, Melvin Mason sent us one photo from the Stratford event, and you can check out our other HAN Network news sites for more coverage on local school walkouts. In other news, a public hearing to increase penalties for bear hunting in Connecticut is scheduled for this morning. Now, that bill, HB 5469, was raised by the Judiciary Committee at the request of State Representative Gail Lavielle. Now, according to a press release from Lavielle's office, provisions in that bill include increasing fines for bear hunting, and maximum jail time would be doubled for second and third time offenses, with third time offenders receiving up to 1 year in jail. Now, that bill also mandates permanent revocation of an offender's hunting license after the second offense rather than the third. Now, Lavielle submitted that bill in response to residents who contacted her upset over an incident of bear poaching that took place in Wilton last year. They were further upset when that individual charged with killing 2 bears received accelerated rehabilitation, a program that, if he completes it successfully, will allow him to expunge that charge from his record. More on that story at wiltonbulletin.com. And another meeting on train noise in Reading is scheduled for Tuesday, March 20th from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Reading Town Hall. Now, this meeting will cover updates from the August 2017 forum, which was called Train Horn Abuse on the Danbury Line, and will address some residents' concerns about noise and any issues they want to discuss on that topic. Stephen P. Curley, supervising rail officer in the Office of System Safety for the Bureau of Public Transportation, is expected to be in attendance. More on that forum at aspatuck.news. And a tribute has been organized for 6-year-old Emma Mackenzie Splann, who died from complications of the flu on February 18th. Now, Emma was a student of the Connecticut Theater Dance, where she is remembered as a beautiful, bright, and spirited little girl who loved all things dance, the color pink, and anything sparkly. Well, in memory of Emma and in solidarity for the Splann family, CTD is hosting a Forever Angel tribute for Emma to celebrate her very young life and to raise an Encore Youth Scholarship Fund in her honor. Now, the Forever Angel Scholarship, the annual scholarship, will be awarded to a young dancer who could not otherwise afford a dance education. Now, that tribute will be held on Saturday, March 24th from 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Norwalk Inn and Conference Center Ballroom at 99 East Avenue in Norwalk. Now, there's no cost and everyone is invited to attend. Festivities include a specially commissioned dance piece, complimentary dance classes, as well as a silent auction, raffle tickets, and much more. All right, taking a turn now, let's throw it over to Frank Granito for your Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. After yesterday's snowstorm, no state action going on last night, and now we are down to just 3 FCX schools remaining in the winter season, all 3 of them playing boys ice hockey. Staples in the Division III tournament supposed to play last night. Their game postponed until Thursday when they will take on the number 5 seeded Eastern Connecticut Eagles. That game will be at 7:30 from the Yale Whale. Their championship game, should they win, would be Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Tonight, you've got 2 FCX schools in action in the Division I tournament. First up, Greenwich takes on Xavier. The Cardinals looking to advance to the championship game for the first time since 2015, hoping to end a 26-year championship drought at the state level. They'll take on Xavier at 5:30, and then the big one at 7:30. It'll be Ridgefield, the defending state champion, taking on Fairfield Prep. Tigers are 0-2 against the Jesuits this season, and Prep, this senior class, hoping to avoid being the first class since 1990 to go 4 years without winning a state championship. Puck drop for that game set for 7:30, but obviously pending the results of Greenwich and Xavier. Kevin and I will be back at 2 o'clock on Nutmeg Sports to break everything down around these 2 games. We'll also be joined by the head coach of Greenwich, Chris Rurik. That at 2 o'clock. For now, we go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today after this.
Voted Best Gourmet to Go in Fairfield County, Palmer's extensive menu offers everything you'll need to make your next event easy and delicious. Whether you're hosting a small get-together or planning a large celebration, they've got you covered breakfast through dessert. Order online at palmersdarien.com or call 203-655-2077. Vote.
Yeah, Dad.
Kyle, I need you to update the financial statements.
I took care of that yesterday, Dad.
Mac, I need you to get those deals approved.
They're all done, Mr. Miller.
Jeff, I need you to order lunch for the meeting. They can't do a thing without me.
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
I'm never going to retire.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area,
featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet, 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
Voted Best Gourmet.
Welcome back to this Wednesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. An East Haven man was arrested this week on charges of operating a drug factory out of a business on Quarry Road in Milford. Now, on March 13th at about 1 in the afternoon, the Bridgeport office of the Drug Enforcement Agency, with the assistance of Milford and Stamford narcotics units, conducted an investigation targeting 45-year-old Pasquale Sestaro. Now, agents and detectives executed a search warrant at the Bulldog Cartel Wholesalers, located at 333 Quarry Road in Milford. Now, with the assistance of Milford Police Department's trained narcotics detection canine Cedar, agents and detectives located 1.24 ounces of cocaine, 38.8 pounds of marijuana, 261 vials of liquid THC, as well as a scale, packing materials, 2 firearms, and cash from various locations inside that business. More on that story at milfordmirror.com. And a Stratford man is accused of stabbing his roommate and now facing attempted murder and assault charges. Stratford police said that 42-year-old David Newman of 91 Gina Circle was arrested at 9:30 in the morning Tuesday. Police said the incident took place at Newman's residence. Police said Newman assaulted his roommate with a knife and stabbed him several times in the arm and shoulder. Police said it was not known what prompted that attack. Police said the roommate was able to fend off the attack, and Newman then returned to his bedroom to wait for officers to arrive. Newman surrendered to police without incident. He was charged with attempted murder and first-degree assault and was ordered held on a $1 million bond. He's scheduled to appear in court this morning. And in other news, 2 Monroe men face a host of charges in connection with the sexual assault of a minor in November, that according to Monroe police. Now, 20-year-old Brian Worrell of Turkey Roost Road and 19-year-old Wyatt Palin of Gristmill Road were each arrested this week on a warrant for first-degree sexual assault, conspiracy to commit first-degree sexual assault, as well as unlawful restraint and other charges. Now, police said Worrell and Palin sexually assaulted a juvenile victim at Worrell's home on November 25th, 2017. According to police, that juvenile victim, with the support of her family and friends, came forward 2 days after that alleged incident to report the details to Monroe police. Now, police said the department opened an investigation into the allegations, which resulted in the arrests. Now, police said these investigations are exceptionally hard on victims due to the sensitive nature of the crimes. Both Worrell and Palin were each released after posting a $50,000 bond. And in some unusual news, a prized black rhinoceros horn that was stolen in April 2017 from the University of Vermont's Zadock-Thompson Zoological Collections has been recovered in Ridgefield and now returned to the university. UVM reports that that horn, valued at $200,000 and dating from the early 1900s, is significant from a scientific standpoint because it contains genetic material that would provide insight into black rhinoceri about 100 years ago, when that genetic diversity of the species was much more robust than it is today. There are only about 5,000 black rhinoceri in existence. Now, UVM police began investigating that crime immediately after that horn was stolen, issuing a press release and a reward offered jointly by UVM and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Well, that press release resulted in a tip to UVM police that that horn was actually in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Now, given that the tip and investigation didn't reveal enough information for police to secure a warrant and search the property of the suspect and bring criminal charges if the horn was found, investigators and prosecutors in Connecticut and Vermont determined the best strategy was to offer that suspect immunity if the horn was returned. Well, UVM reports that on March 6th, the Ridgefield Police Department, working from information given to them from UVM police, police were able to successfully recover that rhinoceros horn. Now that case remains open pending further information, and our own Ridgefield Press is checking for comment from the Ridgefield Police Department. All right, let's throw it over to Frank now for one final look at your forecast.
All right, thanks again, Kate. We're looking at a mostly sunny afternoon around Fairfield County. Chilly out today. Temperatures right around 33 degrees. It's going to be pretty windy with gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour. We could see a light flurry briefly later on, and then increasing cloud cover overnight. Winds will die down to around 15 miles per hour. It'll be about 29 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, but we've got mix of sun and clouds coming the next few days. Temperatures in the low 40s, won't be as breezy, and it should warm up over the weekend as all this snow starts to melt away. We're back at 2 o'clock for Nutmeg Sports. For now, though, send it over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. And coming up at 12:30, CT Pulse, we welcome some special guests from the Jordan Porco Foundation, and we're going to be talking more about this Ridgefield superintendent controversy. That coming up on CT Pulse at 12:30. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break, but we'll see you tomorrow with the latest local news and more. Have a great day.